Hi, I am Julius Carlo Hilado from the Philippines. I am an environmental planner and a graduate of the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. In this presentation, we will explore stakeholders' perceptions, experiences, and attitudes towards the Mindoro Geothermal Power Project in Nauhan, Oriental Mindoro, Philippines. To give you a brief background of the study, the Philippines still relies heavily on imported oil for power generation, despite having huge and diverse sources of renewable energy, which, when harnessed properly, will significantly reduce the country's dependence on imported expensive fuel. In recent years, the country continues to experience energy crisis like what happened in 2013, when key power generation plants in Luzon failed, causing blackouts in key commercial and industrial hubs. Since then, various efforts and initiatives to improve energy supply in the country were made, and advocacy for renewable energy production coincided with the passing of the Paris Climate Agreement in 2016, to which the Philippines is a signatory. Then it was during the onset of the Duterte administration when it promised to combat and stop illegal mining activities. In response, the late Department of Environment and Natural Resources Secretary Regina Lopez made drastic moves on the closure of various mining companies. So this prompted environmentalists and concerned citizens to also police existing environmentally destructive activities, including the Mindoro Geothermal Power Project or MGPP. Albeit it is deemed as the fruition of decades-long feasibility and exploration studies for geothermal power in Nauhan, Oriental Mindoro, Philippines, a township which, along with the rest of the province, is often plagued with intermittent power shortages for decades. So the project's development, however, is not without issues and controversies. This presentation is part of a larger study that aimed to determine the perceptions, experiences, and attitudes toward the MGPP of four stakeholders. However, this part of the presentation focuses on the views of the residents only. So this study was conducted from November 2016 to April 2017 as part of the requirements for my undergraduate degree. The location of the study focused on two barangays, Montelago and Montemayor, in the municipality of Nauhan, Oriental Mindoro. So a combination of qualitative and quantitative methods was used in this study, wherein 20 individuals from four groups of stakeholders were interviewed and a total of 105 household heads was surveyed. I used thematic analysis, frequencies and cross tabulations, and then correlation analysis for the study. Again, the focus of this presentation is mainly on the responses and views of the residents from the two barangays. For the socio-demographic profile of the survey respondents, as shown in the screen, I considered 8 characteristics in this study. Birth origin of the residents, to see if the concept of place attachment plays a role in the respondents' attitude toward the MGPP. Then we have age, civil status, occupation, educational attainment, household size, household income, and if there was or were family members who worked in the MGPP. As mentioned earlier, this study aimed to identify how stakeholders perceive the MGPP based on their knowledge and understanding of the nature of the project. And 6 themes emanated from the interview results as shown in the screen. As for the experiences, 10 themes emerged from the interviews. So 5 are positive, those icons colored in blue, and 5 are negative experiences, those icons colored in red. So according to the respondents, since the MGPP started or because of the MGPP, they encountered the following experiences as shown on the screen. Then based on the participants' statements, attitudes toward the MGPC, Mindoro Geothermal Power Company were captured and categorized into 8 broad topics as shown in the screen. So after determining stakeholders' perceptions, experiences, and attitudes towards the project, I looked into the factors associated with a positive or negative attitude toward the MGPP using correlation analysis and by using the respondents' degree of acceptance vis-a-vis the socio-demographic characteristics, perceptions, experiences, and perceptions towards the company's CSR projects. I used Spearman's rank order correlation to determine these factors and to describe the strength of the correlation. So the following guide, as shown in the screen, was used for the correlation coefficient value. So in my study and this presentation, I chose to consider relationships having at least a moderate strength of correlation in the discussion, in the belief that relationships with weak correlation strength became significant only because of the relatively small sample size. So survey results show that 48.6% or roughly 49% of the respondents neither accept nor reject the project because, one, they are uncertain on the purpose of the project. If it is really for electric power production or is it just front for illegal mining activities, or basically if it will pursue or not. And second, they deem it beneficial for the community but it causes environmental degradation. So then correlating respondents' degree of acceptance toward the MGPP and to the various stakeholders' perceptions, results show that there are 20 significant relationships, but based on a two-tailed test of significance, only 10 have moderate strength of correlation. 5 are advantageous and 5 are disadvantageous perceptions. Positive perceptions are MGPP is an additional source of electricity for Mindoro, source of additional income for the family. It is beneficial for the barangay, municipality, and the province. And geothermal power is a clean source of energy and a stable source of energy. Conversely, MGPP causes environmental degradation. It causes land or rock slides, causes groundwater depletion, causes water turbidity in rivers, lakes, and seas, and it causes air pollution. So this result suggests that the higher the degree of acceptance of our respondents towards the MGPP, the higher the degree of agreement with positive perceptions and tend to disagree with negative perceptions about the MGPP. So in terms of experiences, 21 out of 24 statements have significant relationships, but only 7 are moderately significant, of which 3 are positive experiences and 4 are negative experiences. And these are, since MGPP started, respondents experience assistance from MGPC during emergency situations. Because of the MGPP, respondents experience warm welcome from the company's official and staff, their skills and knowledge in working improved, but it somehow became hard for residents to go in and out of the barangay, and then rice plants became stunted. They also experienced land and rock slides became frequent and floods became frequent. So these outcomes show that if respondents tend to have negative experiences with the project, they tend not to accept the project. Or if respondents agree with negative experiences stated, they tend to have a lower degree of acceptance toward the project. Lastly, in terms of the degree of acceptance and perceptions towards the company's CSR projects, 3 out of 5 are moderately significant, and these are the perceptions that the CSR projects fosters good relationship with the community, are just consolations, and are just dole outs. So these outcomes suggest that if respondents tend to perceive the company's CSR projects negatively, they tend not to accept or have a lower degree of acceptance towards the project. So to sum it up, stakeholders have positive perceptions on the intended effect of the project and the benefits one can get in the company's CSR projects. However, stakeholders tend to have negative perceptions on the adverse effect of the project on the environment. Positive experiences are associated with the project's beneficial effects on the community, and negative experiences are associated with the damages the project caused to the environment. Again, almost half of the respondents have a neutral stance on whether they will accept or reject the project. Lastly, in terms of the factors associated with a positive or negative attitude towards the project, having family members who work in the MGPP tends to have a positive attitude towards the project and tend to accept the project. Perceived advantages and positive experiences equate to a higher degree of acceptance, and perceived disadvantage and negative experiences equate to a lower degree of acceptance towards the project. So in conclusion, the study results show that stakeholders are optimistic about the benefits of the geothermal project and the advantages of the corporate social responsibility projects to individuals or communities. However, stakeholders become pessimistic as they experience the adverse effect of the project on the environment, and the sentiments of uncertainty towards the project's real intention, mining issues, and the length of time that the company fails to deliver its intended promises to account to respondents' reasons why they chose not to accept nor reject the project. That would be all. Thank you.